The Titans tried to give back the game last week in Houston, left with a win, but truthfully, the victory exposed some problems with the Titans offense. Hey, how are you folks? Jason Horowitz and NFL.com's Pat Kerwin with you, breaking down the 2-4 Raiders, the 4-2 Titans, and Pat with Tennessee. You know, the fact that they needed an NFL record 8 field goals from Rod Baronis, it really is a problem in itself. They're 14th in the AFC in red zone touchdown conversions.
Well, there are some problems. I talked to Jeff Fisher about it this morning. What startled me even more is I went back and checked their series starts. This team averaged starting their series on offense on the 41-yard line. Basically, they were playing on a 60-yard field, and you would think there'd be some more touchdowns for it. But let's not apologize for the putting the foot back in football. 8 field goals.
No, you never take back a win. But let me ask you something. What's missing? Obviously, Vince Young was missing last week. But what's missing with the offense?
When I look at these guys, I don't see a big playmaker. I see Lendell White, who's a plodding back, who's going to keep giving you, move the chains, 3 yards a carry. Don't see a breakaway back. Now, Chris Henry could have some of that, but he's not being featured enough to be that guy. And I don't think the receivers show you a guy that's a vertical threat, and the tight end's not that player. So this is a team that's deliberate. Their playmaker is their quarterback, Vince Young, and he didn't play last week, but he's due back on the field for this one.
He should play against Oakland. Roydell Williams did have a breakout game, but he has not been consistent so far in his career. As for Oakland's offense, teams are starting to understand how to stop them. You take away the run. Just 98 yards rushing the last 2 weeks and against the Tennessee defense that stops people from running the football. So how big of a role do Jerry Porter, Ronald Curry have to play in this game?
Well, I'm sure Lane Kiffin, who I also talked this week, would like to avoid having to throw the ball too much, because he understands what his team is. Not only is he a running team, he's a left-handed running team. And so for the Raider offense to work, they've got to run to their left with success. Problem is this week, Kyle Vanden Bosch and Albert Hainsworth are on that side for Tennessee. Those two guys will stuff the run, and now they're going to force this ball into Culpepper's hand in the passing game. You look at Jerry Porter, not a lot of speed on the field. Not bad in the red zone as a rebounder, catching the ball in a crowd, but he can't separate from anybody. Ronald Curry a little better at it, but no real playmaker back there.
Yeah, Albert Hainsworth, of course, last week, the guy that knocked out Matt Schaub from the game, which allowed Sage Rosenfels to come in. Let's put all those numbers that you've seen in this graphic, in this segment, into a computer. 10,000 tests, 10,000 results. It's the AccuScore prediction for this game, and here's what it came up with. 73% of the time into the computer, the Titans came out victorious. The Raiders having a hard time scoring on the field and in the computer. Pat, does Oakland go into Tennessee and get a win?
I don't think so. I think that the Tennessee Titans are starting a 3-game homestand. They feel like a team that's bound for the playoffs, and the Raiders are on an airplane where they are 1-13 the last 14 times they got off a plane in a visiting city. I'd say the Tennessee Titans win this game. Very physical defense, and Vince anxious to come back. Could have played last week. Thought it was a great move not to play him. I like Tennessee.
And when you can get a win without Vince Young, I think that showed something to this Tennessee team that we can win without the guy that everybody thinks that we can't win without. All right, the two kick it off at 1 p.m. Eastern. For more on this game or the rest of Week 8's matchups, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com and watch everything else on the CBS Audience Network. For Pat Kerwin, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care.